Hi Taurus, this is your May monthly reading. Keep in mind this is a general reading and this may or may not resonate for every single Taurus out there. Cross watchers, you are welcomed. Keep in mind that this also could be vice versa. So yeah, let's get started. So Taurus, when I was thinking about what was going on with Tauruses, I was kind of just, I was getting a sense of, I don't know, it almost has the feeling of not like laziness or anything. It's just needing to take it slow or taking it slow. It's kind of an interesting energy. It's kind of like a sense of, I'm feeling for some of you guys though, you are frustrated on certain topics or certain situations, which is why I think that you kind of are taking it more easy and kind of like, kind of pulling back and reevaluating for some of you. So let's see which your main energy is for the month of May for my Tauruses. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. All right. So we have not enough, frustrated in relationships, lack of confidence, self-sabotage, fear or ego issues, jealousy, girl talk, time with friends, moving on, happily single, living in the moment, having fun. And then you have here for the shadowy aspect, lightning, sudden change, shocking news, surprise, epiphany, upheaval, and transformation. So I essentially look at that obviously like a tower. So for some of my Tauruses, I'm picking up for some of you guys that you guys have just been, I did kind of sense this a little earlier, but I was afraid to really say anything. But I did sense like that frustration and again, like pulling it back. But I was feeling the frustration with relationships. For some of my Tauruses, you guys are dealing with relationships in your life. It can be romance, family, friends. I'm kind of getting for a lot of my Tauruses, it's kind of a mixture of all. For some of you, it's a little different, you know. But whatever's happening here is it's like you are realizing that you're self-sabotaging yourself by being with these people in your life. Like these people in your life, what I'm sensing for some of my Tauruses is they're either purposely, like okay, this isn't going to be for all of you guys, but for some of my Tauruses, you're dating a person who's purposely trying to make you jealous and is trying to, is trying to take away parts of your self-esteem. And for some of you guys, you've broken up with this individual and now you're trying to move forward. You're spending more time with friends. You're trying to, you know, take it more easy. And that's what I was feeling, taking it easy, pulling back and just relaxing. But it feels kind of like there's that push and pull energy between that. It almost feels like you're not quite ready to work through this and to heal through it, if that makes sense. There's still irritation that is involved with this relationship. And I think it's because whenever Taurus, whatever you put yourself in, whether it's work, family, friends, like, this is what I'm saying, like this, you felt very unvalued. You feel like your self-esteem has been affected. And for some of you guys, you're trying to keep your mind off of things. Some of my Tauruses, I think you try to distract yourselves and you're trying to do it. It's like you're trying to do it in a way where, I'm not saying that it's not healthy, but it's like, just be careful on how you're addressing issues with people, or how you're addressing how to handle and move forward with it. Because I'm just kind of getting a sense that some of you guys, it's like you, for some of my Tauruses, is sad. It's almost like you feel like you deserve it. You deserve whatever you got. And others of you, it's almost just like you feel like the world was unfair, or like, I'm just getting that there are some circumstances that some of my Taurus people have gone through that has really affected their self-worth and how they view themselves, and how others, they feel like how others around them view them. So it almost seems like for some of my other, like some of my Tauruses too, because I'm picking up a group of different Tauruses again. But it's like trying to, like, what some of you need to do is communicate with others. When we have like the girl talk there, it's almost like, for instance, if this was a relationship, a partner, like a love relationship, and this hurts you really badly, it's like maybe going to somebody you can trust, like a friend or a family member, or, you know, anything, and maybe talk about it. Because I think, like, for some of my Tauruses, actually just getting with your thoughts, sitting down and talking it out, will probably actually help you guys. Because I am just sensing for some of you guys, it's just this fear of lack in a way, and just not really knowing where to take, like, I feel like I don't know where to go, if that makes sense. It's just that energy. It's like, where do I go from here? Because it seems like you're trying to escape what has happened, but you're trying to be more in the present moment, which I think is very good for some of my Tauruses, learning to be in that present moment, but also having just a very hard time really opening up and really expressing themselves. And now this is like a time where it's calling for you to do so. So let's see what we have for Taurus in May. Collective for Taurus. So it also just kind of seems like, for some of you guys, it felt it just, whatever has happened, it almost feels like you don't want it to happen. It's like you guys have to brace yourself on impact, is kind of what it feels like. Like there's something going on here. There we go. And I think what's happening is, for my Tauruses, you are trying to find somebody, or try to collaborate with somebody that is more willing to meet you halfway. I think that my Tauruses, I've gotten to the point where you're sick and tired of dealing with people that give very little, and you're now at this point where you're like, you're learning. What's happening for my Tauruses is you guys are starting to figure out your worth. And it's almost like the universe puts you in situations to where it tested you enough that you eventually had to make the final decision on what you needed to do. It's like cutting the cord with somebody, or, you know, figuring out what you deserve, what you're passionate about. Because you're not finding emotional fulfillment wherever you are right now, Taurus. There's like a sense of a sense of lack, like a sense of you're missing something. And for some of you guys, you're now starting to realize, you know, I can find that within myself, or I can find that in a way. And for some of you guys, you really are trying to, like, find a way to achieve the goals that you were trying to achieve to begin with. And you're doing that by, I feel like, kind of pulling back from a situation, or at least observing a past situation and realizing like you're taking lessons from it, and then you're trying to incorporate what you've learned into more of your daily routine, or like how you would come across the next person that you would like, if say for instance if this was like a romantic relationship, it's almost like you have a better understanding of how to present yourself to the next person that you will eventually date. It's like that. I think for some of my Tauruses, you guys are learning about how important communication is. And I am feeling that. It's like learning how important it is to communicate with those around you. Because I'm thinking for what happened for some of my Tauruses is a miscommunication. And maybe you took people, what they said, the wrong way, and maybe that's not what maybe that wasn't their intention, you know? It's things like that to where my Tauruses are starting to realize, they're just, you guys are just starting to, I think what happened for a lot of you guys is you guys were overwhelmed with the possibilities of all of these choices, all of these decisions that you've had to make. And I think that in a way you felt like you probably shouldn't have, like it caused a lot of pain. Whatever decision you have made, it caused pain. It caused a lot of frustration and a lot of setbacks, it feels like. I feel like for this group, I'm dealing with Tauruses that feel frustrated, feel like they never get to win, you know? It's like the people that they were trying to work with. And I feel like this is kind of complicated because there's a lot of Tauruses I'm picking up on. And it's hard to make it just be one specific thing because I'm feeling like for some of you, this is family members, you know? And vice versa. So I'm going to stick with, just say for right now, I'm going to use this analogy of a family member. You made a choice based off this person's decision as well. So this person maybe influenced you to agree to a certain situation that you were not comfortable agreeing to. And after a while, you found it that you were the one that got burnt by the situation and not so much the other person. And that could have caused a lot of resentment, a lot of frustration and anger, because you felt like this family member or this person you were with cheated you in some way, whether that's financially. Because for some of you guys, this could have been, and this is something I'm also picking up, a family member to where they were like, hey, you can make this great investment. And it sounded good. You made an investment and you lost money in that. And then here you are now stuck with the repercussions, but this person had none. You know what I mean? It's like that. Like this person got to walk off scot-free without any repercussions, but you lost the money. You lost all of that. That's what it feels like for some of you. That could have happened to you. But I am sensing again that you are trying to build a solid foundation for yourself. You are trying to find stability for yourself. And it seems like the people around you, it almost feels like they're self-sabotaging you in a way, or it almost feels like it feels like your relationships with people is on faulty ground. And I think it's because you're not truly embracing who, like, it's, I feel like what's going on for a lot of my Tauruses is you guys are also like, you're putting on a fake facade, and because you're not being who you truly are, you have attracted people that are not necessarily for your highest good, and you are starting to realize that. So it almost feels like the universe is trying to teach you, like, hey, you are enough to be who you truly are, and those who truly like matter won't care, and those who care don't matter. And so that's kind of what's happening for, I think, a lot of my Tauruses. You guys are starting to come to this realization that you've been around fake people, and you've been around people that have taken advantage of you in multiple aspects, whether again that's financial, emotional. You could just be a very good supportive rock, a person, a shoulder to cry on, things like that, you know. But you aren't seeing much benefits of sticking around and staying with people like that. And so you are learning to slowly move forward. I think what's happening for my Tauruses is you are now starting to go out and look for people who can give back to you just as much as you give back to them. You are taking yourself out of the cold. You are no longer putting yourself in isolation to appease other people. And that is what I'm feeling for my Tauruses. Again, whether that is in all areas of your life, work, family, love. For some of you, it's all of it. For the others of you, it's specific parts of your life. But whether we like to admit it or not, like I just finished the Gemini reading, aspects of your life can bleed into other aspects if they go unchecked. And so that's what's happening for you guys, is you guys are starting to go back to trying to be more grounded again, because whatever happened, for some of you, I'm really feeling this was a financial hit for you, and now you're having to pick back up the pieces. You're now having to reinvent yourself, Taurus, in order to even pay your bills. Like, I'm just saying, like, I'm feeling like somebody screwed you over, Taurus, and I'm feeling that's why I was feeling the frustration. That's why I was feeling all of these things. But that's also why I felt like you had to pull back, because it almost felt like you were so stressed about the situation that you knew that, I got to take a break. I can't just fixate on this, because again, you're a fixed sign. You have a tendency of doing that. When something bothers you, you can replay it over and over again. It's hard for you to break out of habits. But right now, it's almost like the universe is forcing you to do that, because it's almost like staying in that position it's interesting, because it's a lot, to me, it's similar to Gemini. You could be dealing with the Gemini. You don't always have to be. But I'm seeing slight similarities, although for them it was mostly a relationship in which this person that they were with, the partner they were with, was manipulative. Instead, for you guys, I feel like it's more than that. There are things that is written on the wall but is not said. I don't know why that image came to my mind or why I heard that in my head, but I did. It's like the writing is on the wall, it's written on the wall, but it has never been said. It's like there were stipulations to this person's contract, or to this person's advice, or to this person's, like, there was a hidden agenda, but it was obvious, but it's almost like you overpassed it, or you didn't think much of it, and now it's coming back around. And for a lot of my Tauruses, this is a lesson that you're going to have to learn, and unfortunately it's one where for some of you, you might have to put a lot of hard work into recovering from. And I am sensing for a lot of you guys, this is financial. For others of you, I am sensing that this is how you viewed what you thought your life would be, and then instead it's like crumbled. It's wherever you are, I'm not sensing you're on firm foundation, Taurus. I am feeling like you are in sinking mud. It feels like that. It's like earthy and emotional, and it's like you're sinking further and further into that. It's like the more you struggle, the quicker you sink. And that's kind of what it feels like for like a lot of my Tauruses. This is a little bit of a darker energy that I'm picking up. But what is happening is it's leading you to learn your value, and it's leading you to learn to what you deserve, and also not only that, but to also be more cautious about those around you and those around you's motives. Learning what that person's motive was and why this person did what they did. It's like that is what a lot of my Tauruses are learning at this time. And it's like you're not letting it go. And it's hard to let it go, because it almost seems like, again, there's emotions attached to it, but there's also thoughts attached to it. There's pain attached to it. And I think what happened is, because we have the 10 of Cups here, and then we have the 10 of Swords here, it's almost like you losing that thought of emotional fulfillment eventually is what led you to feeling mentally trapped, mentally in pain. It feels like whatever this has occurred, it's almost like this has woken you up to something within yourself that you may or may not like. Like there's deeper stuff here, but it almost seems surface level, but it's not. It's like so much deeper than that. But to everyone else, it looks like surface level. Like, oh yeah, you lost money. I'm sure you can regain it back, right? Or it's like, oh, I'm sure this person didn't mean to screw you over. It's like people are looking at it from different angle, but you're looking at it from a whole other perspective because you're the one that's in it. And you're the one that's feeling all of it. And it's like this person or whoever, a group or a person, whoever you're dealing with, your phase, the reason I think you can't get over it is because it's like this person shrugged it off. And this has left you even more upset because now you're like, really? You just did all of this to me. You screwed me over and this is your reaction? It's not even like if they apologize, it wasn't even like that sincere. It felt like I'm feeling the frustration, Taurus. And that's why you guys need to take that second to step back. Relax. Reevaluate. And that's just really what I'm picking up. It's you just can't let go of why did you invest? That's what I'm feeling. For some of you, it's a relationship, like an actual partnership, and you're like, why did I invest in this? That was a wrong decision I made. Why did I give this person money? That was a bad decision I made. It's like you are dwelling on that mistake. You're dwelling back to that one point in time when you plunged in and you put your coin down. You put your pentacle down. You gave in the situation, and now it's like, shit, I don't know what to do now. It's that kind of energy, and it is kind of a frustrating energy to be in because you know you can be mad at this person all you want, but you know that deep down you were the one that made that final decision. And I think that's what's really bothering a lot of you guys was what was I thinking? Where was I? Where was my mind at that point in time? It was like you're trying to now trace it back. And now you're finding a bunch of all these pains, all these past hurts that you're experiencing that led you to make this decision. And for some of you guys, it's, like I said, it's just a very frustrating decision and very frustrating thing because now it feels like you have to start from scratch again. You have to now rebuild this foundation. And for some of you guys, you could have spent years on this rocky foundation that you thought was somewhat solid. Wow. That's raw. Okay. All of these readings I've done, they all seem so like negative and raw, but that's what the collective, I guess, is going through right now. We're all going through a whole new transformation. Now's the time that everybody has just, they're focusing inwards. They're now exploring different facets of who they are, and they're now coming to this point in time where things are shifting, things are changing, and it's definitely an interesting time that we live in. And yeah, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Taurus. It seems like it feels like there's a heavy loss here. For some of you, it could have actually been a death, and if so, my condolences. But that's what I'm feeling. It's like there's a heavy loss, and it's just it's bringing pain, and it feels like you feel cheated. All right, so let's pull some cards for what phase are you closing out for the month of May, and what new phases are you bringing in, because we are ending cycles and beginning new ones. So let's see what's going on for my Tauruses the month of May. All right. So we have nothing will come of this situation, void of course moon. And then we have actually. Okay, there we go. The end of a tough cycle approaches. Be bold and make the first move, cardinal moon. And we have a fiery climax approaches, and that's in full moon in Aries. All right, so Taurus. The cycles that I am seeing is, the reason I feel like nothing will come out of this situation, and I feel like the reason it's in the reverse, is because in your mind, you still feel like, to some extent, because you're not willing to close this cycle out, that you're not seeing that there is no end in sight. You feel like you can still get something out of this, but what you're not realizing is you holding on to that, it's an illusion in a way. It's like you're thinking, oh no, this person owes me, so this is what's going to happen. But this person is like, oh no, I have a whole other plan you have no idea about. Like, no, this is not how this is going to go down. But like, that's what's happening, is you're learning, Taurus, I think, to let go of control and let go of these tough emotions that you are feeling. Because we have here in like the reverse of the shadowy side, personal issues reaching resolution, and that's in full moon in Cancer. And it feels like that to you, like you're not reaching a solution to this. It's like you're trying so desperately to find a solution to your problems, but maybe the solution to your problems is just walk away. Why does it have to go down in flames? And that's what I was feeling by a fiery climax approaches, is let it die. Let the flame die. Whether this is a relationship that you are currently in that is no longer serving you, or a tough cycle, or like a job that's no longer serving you, or family members or friends, there are people in your life or places, situations, things that are no longer serving you, and you have to be bold and you have to make the first move. If you want to break up with a person, you got to do it. If you want to accomplish something, you got to do it. You have to be bold and make the first move. If you walked away from somebody in a past relationship and you want to go back, you have to be the first one to do it. You know, you got to make changes, drastic changes, Taurus, because I think fixed signs have a tendency of getting stuck in ruts, and that's why oftentimes it's like, that's why you'll see like major circumstances hit people with a lot of fixed signs, and it's because the universe is like, all right, I'm gonna have to hit you across the head really hard this time for you to get the message, because it's like you get so fixated on one specific goal or one specific thought process or belief that you're narrowing it down to where you're restricting it. If you want to pick up something, you got to let go of your fist. If you want something new, you got to let go of what's already in your hand in order to hold the next thing that you need. So that's what the universe is trying to teach you, Taurus, is to learn to let go, and learn to let go in a way where you don't have to burn a bridge. You don't have to be malicious. And I'm not saying you guys are, but I'm just saying that that's what I'm feeling. It's like for some of you guys, taking that breath, because I'm feeling, again, frustration. I was feeling it the whole time I was doing this reading. Some of my Tauruses, you guys are so frustrated that you are not letting things go, and that's what the universe is trying to let you do. It's like, hey, let it die. It's okay. And it's okay to feel that pain, and it's okay to feel scared, and it's okay to not know, because sometimes you have to make those necessary changes. Sometimes you have to step out of your comfort zone and explore the unknown in order to find something even better, or in order to grow and expand to become a more stronger, powerful person in your own right. And that's what the universe is trying to present to you, Taurus. So let's pull some cards for your final message of what the universe wants you to know at this time for my Tauruses. But this is a harsh lesson, I feel like, to some extent, because it's teaching you to let go of your grasp, stop trying to control situations. Because whether most of us realize it or not, we all are guilty of that. We're all so guilty of not holding on to things that no longer serve us. And and not trusting ourselves and those around us because we've been hurt so many times that we learn. It's almost like we have to deprogram ourselves to learn to trust again, you know. And I think that's what's going on for some of my Tauruses. You guys are breaking tough cycles. You guys are breaking hard situations because you guys are starting to, ooh, okay, I will not take these, but I felt like these had to fly in order to get this one, so I'm keeping that one. But yeah, in order to get the situation you need. And so that's what I'm feeling is happening for a lot of you guys. So we have infinite blessing. Blessings flow to you and from you, endlessly expanding in all directions, filling you with healing light that guides you upon your blessed path. Rainbow light flows through your heart, creating infinite peace. Sunlight blessing. A ray of light bursts through the clouds of uncertainty and darkness, transforms to light. A new day is born and the first buds of spring appear. You are blessed with birth of something new. A new season of your life begins with this very special blessing. A blessed heart. If you feel that something is missing, look within and you will find it. What your heart is saying, your heart is the gateway to your soul, and your soul is the internal you. Know that you are free, protected, and blessed. Your blessed power. You are a field of endless possibility with unlimited power to create. Every atom of you is full of abstract potential that can be molded into any form. Every particle of you holds the blueprint of creation. You are a force of nature and a great blessing on this earth. Oh, that one. I like that one. Yeah, those went really well, honestly. I think so far these cards have resonated so well with every reading that I have done. And that's kind of what I'm saying. I think, again, you guys eventually will get that clarity. You guys eventually will get that personal resolution. But it's going to require you to learn to view it in another way, because for some of you guys, I am sensing you guys are viewing it in such a negative way that you feel like it's stifling you instead of expanding you. And you looking at it like it's stifling you is what's making you not see the blessings. It's not making you see the abundance that will and should be coming your way. And because of that, that's what's happening. It's like this situation, whatever this is for you, because everybody's a little different, it's shifting you to that point. It's shifting you to get to a different point of view, or to a different way of viewing things and seeing things about yourself and those around you. Essentially, Taurus, you are learning how vulnerable and how valuable you are. So that's what I have for you guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope this resonates. You guys have a great day. Thank you. Bye.